Ibiza.
Hmm.
Just saying the name, it paints a picture, doesn't it? Global hub for electronic music, that sun-soaked dream stage every DJ wants to play on.
It really does. It's the aspiration for so many.
And look, you're here because you want the real deal, the inside track on how to actually land those gigs, right? Cut through the noise.
Exactly.
So that's what this deep dive is for. Think of it as your shortcut to understanding the essentials of breaking into that Ibiza scene.
And we're leaning on a really excellent resource today. It's called Nailing DJ Gigs in Ibiza, and it comes from AudioJacked. You can find them at audiojack.com. Seriously packed with good stuff.
Absolutely. We're going to pull out the key bits for you. We'll cover building that core foundation, like the stuff you absolutely need before you even pack your bags.
Yeah, the groundwork.
Then we'll get into networking that actually works, how you should, approach the venues themselves, the role of competitions, agencies.
Understanding who's who as well, the big clubs, the promoters.
Right. And some smart moves, those little tactical things that can give you an edge. So yeah, consider this your focus guide to what really counts. Okay, let's dive in. First things first, building your DJ empire.
Before you even get lured by Ibiza's magnetic pull, AudioJacked really hammers home some, well, non-negotiables. They stress that getting anywhere on the island starts with, top-tier musical skills, plus having a distinct artistic style, something that makes you, and stand out. And then just looking and acting professional, presenting yourself like you belong there.
Totally. It's way more than just matching beats. The AudioJacked piece really digs into sharpening your skills and forging your sound. We're talking about getting those mixing techniques down cold, like second nature.
Instinctive, yeah.
But also constantly exploring. Don't just stick to one sound. They say, dive deep into different genres, subgenres. Find what resonates.
And that exploration, that's how you build your own sound, right? Something authentic that actually connects with people on the dance floor. AudioJack points out how vital it is to read a room. Feel the energy, adapt your set on the fly, keep that momentum going.
Oh, crucial skill.
And maybe less glamorous, but just as important, is putting in the work to curate and meticulously organize your music library. You need a massive collection ready to go for those seamless sets.
Okay, so sound is tight, skills are sharp, now you need to package it. That's where the EPK, the electronic press kit, comes in. AudioJack calls it your digital shop window. Great phrase. It's that first impression.
It really is. And it needs to be spot on.
So what are the absolute must-haves for a killer EPK, according to AudioJack?
Okay, minimum viable product. You need a concise but really well-written artist bio. Think 1 to 3 paragraphs, your story, your style, influences, maybe key achievements. And they specifically mentioned this is vital for platforms like Resident Advisor, Beatport, Spotify, places promoters look.
Makes sense.
Then, high-quality professional photos. Absolutely essential. You need some showing you performing live, capturing that energy, but also some good pose portraits.
Gotta look the part. What else?
A unique logo and consistent branding elements helps build that visual identity, Then obviously easy access to your music. Clearly labeled links, latest tracks, performance videos. AudioJack notes that while short social clips are good, longer YouTube videos are better for showcasing your actual DJ skills over time.
Good point. Show stamina.
Exactly. Then direct links to your active socials, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever you are. And critically, make it super easy for people to contact you. A primary email address is a must. Phone number, optional, but good to include maybe.
Right, those are the basics covered. But AudioJacked also mentions some things that can really elevate it, make it stand out more.
Yeah, the extra mile stuff. Things like pulling out any positive press quotes you've got, embedding live footage directly in the EPK so they can watch right there.
Oh, smart. Instant viewing.
A short personal video message can be really effective too, adds a human touch. Listing upcoming gigs shows you're active. Including release artwork reinforces your brand.
Okay.
Maybe stats on follower growth if they're decent, shows reach. Mentioning any cool collaborations. And definitely a technical writer what gear you need. And the absolute kicker, make sure it looks great and works perfectly on phones and desktops. That's key.
Okay, skills honed, EPK polished. Now, how do you actually get seen? Social media feels like a huge part of the equation these days, and AudioJack definitely highlights that.
Oh, massively. They cite this pretty striking statistic. Apparently, 61% of emerging DJs feel their social media numbers actually matter more than their musical skills for getting booked.
Wow, 61%, that's a lot.
It is, and it kind of reflects the business side, doesn't it? It's a global market, super competitive, and a big online following can look like a guarantee of putting bums on seats, or at least eyeballs on streams. Profitability potential.
But man, the pressure that puts on artists. AudioJacked touches on the anxiety, the burnout this constant chase for likes and followers can cause, even though the electronic music scene is huge, like worth over 10 billions apparently.
It's a real double-edged sword.
Mm-hmm.
The industry's booming, which is great for established names, but for those trying to break through, it's this constant grind of turning online buzz into actual gigs and income.
Mm-hmm.
So AudioJacked really stresses you need a strategic approach.
Right, not just posting random stuff.
Exactly. Be active, yes, but be smart. Share your mixes, your tracks. SoundCloud, Mixcloud are great for each. Genuinely engage with people, fans, other DJs. Build that community.
And quality matters too, right?
Absolutely. High-quality visuals are non-negotiable. Good photos, slick video clips of you performing. Get that energy across. Maybe encourage user-generated content. Think about collaborating with relevant influencers if that fits your style. And just be present. Respond to comments. Join conversations online. It builds real connections.
Okay, so you've laid all this groundwork. Now, the big question, how do you actually get those gigs in Ibiza?
Yeah, the holy grail. Networking comes up again and again in the AudioJacked piece, but they're clear. It's about real relationships, not just handing out business cards.
Precisely. And one of the best ways, just meet people face to face. Go to events, parties, club nights. Be there. The quoted DJ, Victor Wonka, who nails it. Connection over competition.
I like that.
His advice is basically chat with everyone, be friendly, support other DJs. It builds goodwill, opens doors later. Simple but effective.
And it's not just about being out partying, is it? Industry events play a role too.
For sure. AudioJacked flags the International Music Summit IMS Ibiza as a really key one. It's a major thought leadership platform, brings together all the big players, CEOs, label heads, agents, promoters, huge networking potential.
They even have specific Meet the Experts sessions for advice. Plus, it happens right around the opening party season, so the buzz is already there. Double whammy.
What about connecting on a more local level?
Definitely seek out local DJ meetups, open deck nights. AudioJacked gives La Dolce Vita at Plastic as an example, but suggests checking places like Eventbrite for what's on in Ibiza town. It's a great way to test your skills live and meet the local scene.
Good shout.
Collaboration is another big one. Offer to play warm-up sets for bigger names. Co-host an event maybe. Pool your resources, reach more people. And don't forget your existing network, friends, family. Word of mouth is still powerful. You never know who knows someone.
So making connections is key. But what about just, knocking on doors, going direct to venues?
AudioJacked suggests that for DJs starting out, approaching venues directly, especially in person, can actually be more effective than just firing off toll emails.
Interesting. Which venues, though? Not just the superclubs, presumably.
No, probably not straight away. Focus on places that regularly have DJs or electronic music nights, bars, restaurants, maybe even retail spots doing special events. Also think about smaller local festivals or community gatherings. Get some experience, get seen. Just keep an eye on local event listings.
Okay, makes sense. What about competitions? Can they be a shortcut?
They can definitely give you a leg up, a boost in visibility. AudioJacked mentions the big international ones, Tomorrowland, DJ Hut, Red Bull 3-Style, DMC Championships. But they also spotlight Ibiza-specific programs, which is really useful.
Like what?
Like NEGEN, Next TGEGEN. That's run by SoundCloud and Ushuaia Ibiza. It offers mentorship, marketing help, and potentially gigs at Ushuaia itself. Big deal.
Wow, okay. How does that work?
Usually involves submitting a mix. ANTS asks for like a 30, 35-minute one and pushing it on your socials. The prizes can be amazing.
Yeah.
Billboard campaign, SoundCloud features, masterclasses, gear, radio play, playlist spots, press. It's potentially huge.
Definitely worth looking into. And then there are agencies, booking agencies. How do they fit in?
Agencies are basically the matchmakers, right? They connect DJs with gigs they might struggle to find on their own. AudioJacked specifically shouts out a couple with a real Ibiza focus. Ibiza Music Agency and Cavalli Ibiza.
Okay, tell me more about those two. What's their angle?
So Ibiza Music Agency, they do individual DJ bookings, but they also put together these cool custom packages like a DJ plus singers or musicians for a really dynamic live thing. Their roster seems quite broad, genre-wise, house, funk, disco, but also tech house, minimal. Pretty diverse.
Right, and Cavalli.
Cavalli Ibiza seems to lean more towards down-tempo, organic sounds, chill out, Balearic, Afro house, deep house, funky disco, that kind of vibe. It was founded by Barbara Cavalli and really focuses on representing Ibiza-based artists globally. Acts as a very personal link.
Gotcha.
And both types of agencies, they just have massive networks, Contacts at beach clubs, villas, yachts, clubs, event organizers all over the world. They have the connections.
It definitely sounds like Ibiza has this incredibly rich ecosystem. It's not just the 5 or 6 mega clubs everyone knows.
Yes.
Not at all. Audio Jacked gives a fantastic rundown of some key clubs, and yeah, they each have such a distinct vibe, a different musical flavor. You've got the icons, like Pacha glamorous, famous theme nights, lots of house, funky, disco sounds.
Sure.
Then amnesia foam parties, boundary-pushing sounds, multiple rooms, techno, tech house, house. Ushuaia has totally changed the game with those huge outdoor daytime pool parties, very high-energy EDM, a commercial house focus.
Yeah, seen the videos.
Ibiza is super modern, cutting-edge tech, really immersive, musically quite diverse house to disco. For that raw, underground feel, you've got DC-10, home of Circo Loco. Deep house, techno, more experimental stuff.
Yeah.
And you can't talk Ibiza without mentioning Elro. Just pure energy, crazy theatrical productions, confetti everywhere, banging house and techno.
Sounds insane. And there are even more in the audio jacked piece, right?
Oh yeah, loads. There's Glitterbox, flamboyant, disco-heavy, groovy. Ibiza Rocks, which is kind of a hotel bar and club, known for live music and pool parties. Eden, doing innovative theme nights, more deep house and other electronic styles. Leo offers something totally different. Dining, cabaret, then clubbing. Cafe Mambo for those iconic sunset sessions, very chill out. Pikes for a more intimate, quirky, alternative vibe. And looking ahead, this place, UNVRS Ibiza, set to open in 2025, aiming to be the biggest club globally. Wild.
Wow. And these clubs often work hand in hand with specific promoters, yeah.
Very often. Circo Loco is DC-10, basically.
Yeah.
The Night League is the powerhouse behind Ushuaia and Hï. Amnesia and Pacha are both clubs and major promoters running their own residency.
Right.
ANTS is the massive Ushuaia residency techno, tech house. Elro is its own global brand now. Glitterbox is part of Defected Records, mostly at Hï. Music On is Marco Carolla's huge techno and house brand, currently at Pacha.
Okay, so with all these massive clubs and promoters, how on earth does an up-and-coming DJ even try to get in touch? To send a demo or ask about bookings seems impossible.
Yeah, Audio Jacked is realistic about this. For the really big clubs, direct artist booking contacts often aren't public. They rely heavily on established agencies or their own talent programs like ANTS, NXTG,
So it's tough to just email them directly.
Generally, yeah, for unsolicited approaches to the main bookers. But Audio Jack does provide some general contact points, which is super helpful. For Pacha, there's a general info email and one specifically for Pacha recordings. Amnesia has a general email and their SoundCloud might be a route. For Ushuaia, they really push the ANTS, NXTGN program for submissions.
Okay.
Hï has VIP forms and data protection contacts. DC-10 doesn't list specific artist contacts, but has VIP info. Elro actually does list a booking contact email alongside their VIP one. Glitterbox points you to the Defected Records demo submission page. Ibiza Rocks has an events email. Eden lists VIP contacts. And Music On has an email specifically for music promos.
Having those starting points is gold dust, even if it's a long shot sometimes. And Audio Jack gives tips on actually submitting those demos effectively.
Absolutely. Some really solid advice. Key things are: only send 100% original finished tracks, label them clearly, artist name, track title, do your homework, research the label or promoter, does your music actually fit their sound?
Crucial. Don't waste their time or yours.
Exactly. Personalize your message if you can. Use the official channels they provide. Don't just spam their social media DMs. Send streamable links. SoundCloud is usually best.
Yeah.
Follow their specific guidelines to the letter. And then be patient. Maybe follow up politely after a couple of weeks if you hear nothing, but don't hassle them.
Good advice. Okay, so beyond just reaching out, what about timing and strategy? Audio Jack talks about smart moves for emerging DJs, especially thinking about Ibiza seasons.
Yeah, timing is everything there. They break it down nicely.
Yeah.
Opening parties, late April, May, great vibe. Often less packed and cheaper than peak season. Good time to make contacts, maybe. Peak season, July and August. That's when it's absolutely buzzing. All the huge names are there. Most events are on. But it's the busiest and most expensive time. Radio 1 weekend is usually early August. Mega busy then.
Right.
The shoulder seasons, June and September, can be really good. June is ramping up, but maybe slightly less intense than July, August. September is often seen as ideal. Still great parties, top DJs, but fewer crowds. Then you have the closing parties, late September, mid-October, huge energy, very anticipated.
In the off-season.
November to April, basically.
Yep.
Gigs are much harder to come by then. But Audio Jack points out it's a perfect time for, hunkering down, working on your music, planning your strategy for the next season, development time.
It's also important to keep expectations in check, isn't it? Audio Jack mentions this perception of the industry being a bit of a closed club.
Yes, definitely. And it links that back to the pressure we talked about, needing that online buzz, that big following. It can lead to feeling disillusioned, honestly.
Yeah.
It can impact mental health, anxiety. Burnout are real issues. So the article really pushes that connection over competition idea again. Believe in yourself, your sound, be authentic. Rejection, it's normal, happens to everyone. Learn from it, don't take it personally. And seriously, prioritize work-life balance. Find ways to manage stress. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely vital. And finally, the practical stuff. The nuts and bolts, the legal side that people might forget in the excitement.
Yeah, super important. Easily overlooked. Legal stuff first.
Yeah.
Work permits, visas. If you're planning to work as a DJ there, you have to sort this out properly, research it thoroughly.
Right.
Also, register with music licensing organizations, PRS, PPL, or equivalents. Make sure you get paid your royalties. Understand contracts. Learn how to negotiate. It's a business.
Definitely. And the gig prep itself?
Practical prep is key. Confirm all the details beforehand, times, location, contact person. Curate your playlist specifically for that gig, that crowd. Test your gear. Always test your gear. Keep your music library organized. Have backups. Backup music, backup cables, backup everything if you can. And communicate clearly with the organizers about setup, tech needs. Smooths everything out.
Okay, so bringing it all together, as we wrap up, what are the absolute core recommendations from AudioJacked for anyone dreaming of DJing in Ibiza?
All right, the key takeaways. Number 1, prioritize your skills and finding your unique sound. That's the foundation. 2, invest time and effort into a really professional EPK. It's your calling card. 3, use social media strategically, but don't let it consume you. It's a tool, not the whole job. 4, network like crazy, but do it authentically. Go to IMS, local meetups, open decks, collaborate. Build real connections.
Right.
5, target venues smartly. Start smaller. Try to meet people in person. 6, look into competitions like ANTS, NextGEN, and consider agencies like Ibiza Music Agency or Cavalli when the time is right. 7, understand the island's rhythm. The seasons matter for planning. 8, build resilience. It's tough. Be prepared for setbacks. And finally, 9, sort out all the practical stuff, the legalities, the prep. Get organized.
It really paints a picture of needing talent, yes, but also serious strategy and just plain persistence. Sounds challenging, but definitely achievable with the right approach. Thanks so much for unpacking all those insights from AudioJacked.
My pleasure. It's a fascinating scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
Loads more detail over on audiojack.com if people want to dive deeper.
So there you have it, that mix of skill, smarts, and sheer grit needed to make waves in the Ibiza DJ world, all distilled from that great guide over at audiojack.com. Now, here's something to chew on. In this era, where your online footprint seems increasingly vital for opportunity, how can you, as a DJ, genuinely blend that digital hustle with the core craft, the music, the connection, the vibe, to truly resonate with the unique spirit of Ibiza? Definitely something to think about as you map out your own journey into that electrifying world.